Well, we're almost out of time, but I want to give space for you to share any other lessons that you've learned that you think others doing this kind of work would benefit from.
Yeah, well, I think there are three important elements, and this is, I'm not discovering anything new. There are three important elements that you have to have in place in order to produce an efficient process. Number one is people. You need to have the human capital. You need to train them. You need to find people that are willing to work in student services. And as you know, people working in universities and student services, we didn't come to school to work at universities. We just, it's a profession that we fell in love with for whatever reason, because we had somebody that mentored us, because we had a great experience as a student, things like that. I majored in finance. I never thought that I was going to be in this position. That was not the career that I wanted. It's a career that I fell in love with. So finding these elements is difficult. But not only that, making them love the profession of student affairs, making them love the profession of higher education. You have to work on that. We don't have the highest salaries in entry-level positions, so then how do you compensate those things? So having that human capital is important. And then you need to have systems. What systems do you have in place? Do you have the right technological tools? Do you have the right software in place? Do you have the right setup in the software? Is everybody in the university using it? So there are certain software that don't fit the university culture. So finding those things is important. And obviously, sources, making sure that we find the sources to buy these things. I was one of those, Kathy, that will go to all these conferences and go to the exhibit halls, and I just grabbed the free candies and the free food, and I went to my room, because we never purchased anything, but we were afraid to engage with technology, and we were automatically asking for more people. I need one more person that can help me with the schedule. I need one more advisor. I need one more, and it's just, again, going back to this thing about we don't pay enough, we don't retain well. Having somebody else there is maybe not the solution. Maybe you don't need somebody, you need something, and that something is technology. But losing that fear of technology, I think is something that we need to do. And instead of asking for a salary of, let's say, $35,000 plus benefit, sometimes that's how much the systems cost. And the systems, guess what? The system works 24/7. The systems, they don't get sick. The systems, they don't ask for vacation. And sometimes these are the tools that will help them, the human capital, make their job way better. So you have the humans, and then you have the systems. And I think the third element that you have to throw into this circle is the process. You have the people in the right place. You have the right systems. How are you defining the process? Looking at the processes, like the one I mentioned at the beginning, the handoff to the student. Something that in theory is very simple, but in practice is difficult to do. So do you have steps within your processes that you don't need? Do you have rules that nobody knows what the rules are there for, or nobody cannot trace the root of why that rule was implemented? What sort of things that we have in place that is not, I guess, friendly to the current demands of the students. So looking at your catalog, some of the graduation regulations that you have, are they mandated by the system? Are they mandated by the state? Are they mandated by the institution? Or they were mandated by somebody that doesn't no longer work at the institution? So connecting people, systems, and processes are important. At the moment that you're able to do that connection and for everything to flow correctly, the ones that benefit the most are the students. I always say this: we tend to study a lot why students fail, but we fail to study why we fail the students. And sometimes we don't have the right people in the right positions, we don't have the right systems in place, and we don't have the right processes for the students. So if we're not able to create this workflow internally and to make these things work, we're failing our students, and shame on us, because it is sometimes in our hands to make sure that life is hard as it is, and if we're just creating these obstacles and then creating more bureaucracy in what we do every single day, then we're failing our students. So that is something that I truly believe, and I hope everybody thinks about that. What do you have in place that is not student friendly, and revise it, and make sure that you think about how you can remove those barriers, and the ones that will benefit at the end will be the students, and the rates, graduation, retention, all that will definitely improve.
That's so important. I'm going to leave it there because I think that's really the bottom line, right? What can we do to remove barriers for our students so that they can be successful? And if we're thinking strategically about how to do that, then the metrics will take care of themselves. Thank you so much for your time and coming on the show and sharing your experience.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the first time I do a podcast, so I had a lot of fun. So thank you. It was great. Anybody out there, if you want to contact me directly, just talk to Kathy, and she will be able to give you more information. It will be great to share, and I'll be more than happy to tell you what we're doing at Texas A&M International University.
Thank you so much.